going on, everyone? Jeff Bowders here with Drum Discipline Academy. And what was formerly known as Classic Rock Fills That Rip, well, we're going to change the name of this lesson series because apparently too many people thought their favorite drummer had died.
Stop it.
So can't have that. We don't want that kind of confusion. So we're going to change the name to Rock Fills That Rule. All right. And to start it off, we're going to go big. In fact, we're going to go extreme, if you know what I mean. We're going to check out the rhythm master, Mike Mangini. Okay, really quick, if there was ever a lesson to download the free PDF, this lesson would be it. The concepts that we're going to talk about today are going to be so much more helpful if you actually have a visual to help you understand it and follow along. So all you have to do is just hit the link and you'll be good to go. Okay, so unless you've been living under a pile of trash thanks to all the homeless encampments here in Los Angeles, you probably already know of Mike Mangini. Many of us know him from Dream Theater or Steve Vai, but I really think the biggest introduction he got to the drumming community was when he joined the band Extreme, playing on their album Waiting for the Punchline. And even though he only played 3 songs on this record, that was actually more than enough for him to make just a really profound statement of what type of drummer he is. And in each one of those 3 songs, he plays at least one thing that really makes you go, man, this guy's coming from just a completely new and awesome place. The fill that we're going to learn today is from just an incredible song called Hip Today. And I actually did a whole video talking about the song and playing the song for VATER Drumsticks if you want to check that out as well. But today, we're just going to focus on one really tasty fill that sets up the last chorus section of the song. And Mike's playing 16th note triplets, but it's how he's phrasing these 16th note triplets that really makes it so interesting. It's only 2 beats long, but within those 2 beats of 16th note triplets, he phrases them as a grouping of 5, another grouping of 5, and then a grouping of 2. And the coordination for those groupings, for the grouping of 5, is just kick, right, left, kick, right, left. Those are the 2 5s. And then the last grouping of 2 is just kick right or kick left. It doesn't matter, however way you want to voice it. So, but let's get used to it first as 8th note triplets, because that's a little bit easier and more comfortable for us to wrap our heads around. So we're going to do that first. This is exercise 1A on your PDF.
3, 4.
Now let's do the orchestration that Mike is using. And all it is for the 5-note grouping is just kick, snare, high tom, floor tom, floor tom. That's how we're going to do it here. I don't know, he kind of has this crazy mirrored kit, so I mean his toms might be a little bit different than ours, but for today's lesson, that's how we're going to voice the 5. Kick, snare drum, high tom, and then floor tom, floor tom. And then the 2-note grouping is just going to be kick and snare. So let's check it out.
2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Now to get comfortable playing, hearing, and feeling this phrase within 16th note triplets, let's use like a check pattern. 1 bar of just straight 16th note triplets with our hands, and then in the second bar, we'll play the fill as Mike phrases it. That way it kind of helps us set up the feel a little bit better. And once again, we're trying to wrap our head around feeling this new grouping or this new phrasing within 16th note triplet note value, which might be kind of odd for most of us. I know it's weird for me. So this really helps. Let's start doing this first, and then we'll orchestrate it after we do it a couple times just on the snare. Here we go.
2, 3, 4.
As always, what we try to do with these awesome fills that these great drummers play is use them as a starting point to help us come up with our own creative fill. That's the whole idea, is that we want to use this to help inspire our own creativity, because ultimately that's it. I mean, it's cool to be maybe a carbon copy of something, but that's not going to last for very long. Ultimately, I think true fulfillment comes when you really get to dig deep down inside and find your own voice. So that's what we're going to try to do. An easy way to do that with this fill is just reverse the phrasing of it. Mike phrases these 16th note triplets as a grouping of 5, 5, and then 2. Well, let's just reverse that. Let's start with the 2-note grouping and then end with the 2 5s. That may not sound like we're really changing it up a whole lot, but once you hear it and once you play it, it's going to have a totally different character. And that's the whole point, right? We don't have to go so far off the deep end to mix this up. All we have to do is just make some minor adjustments and see how that inspires our creative juices to come up with something that would only come from us. So let's try it first as 8th note triplets, just like we did, so we can wrap our head around it. Let's check it out.
2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3.
All right, if you enjoyed this lesson and learned how to think about or approach 16th note triplets a little bit differently in your own playing, can you please like, share, subscribe? That way we can help all these other drummers break out of this enslaving 16th note trap. Okay, troops, thanks for checking out this rhythmic dissection of a really cool Mike Mangini lick. Of course, I know he plays fills that are much more rhythmically dense than this, but that's really not the objective of this lesson series. My goal is to help you understand fills that you could actually possibly use on a gig that have a little bit more of a universal appeal. So that's why we're doing it. I mean, in fact, most of the gospel chop stuff that we all really love is based off these exact same concepts. So don't feel that this approach is limited to or restricted to just rock drumming. Like I said, it's universal. You can do whatever you want with it, so get after it, all right? So once again, thank you very much for checking out this lesson. Greatly appreciate it. Until next time, stay focused and practice with purpose. We'll see you soon.